Okay, so in this video, we're going to tackle one of the common asks is how do you create a group calendar within Microsoft Teams? So that way, as you can see on my screen, different team members can schedule their time off. It's very interactive. It's right here within the tab within Teams. You just go in here and say, here I am, Deshaun. I'll actually be out of the office or away from my team on the 20th through the 23rd because I'm going to be part of a seminar. Go ahead and save that off. It gets added to the calendar. So as a team member, you can let the team know when you're going to be out of the office, when you're not available. And as a project manager, you know how to schedule around team availability. Let's get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. What we want to do is, and we can create these group calendars for any team. So it could be a department site or the department team within Microsoft Teams or a project team within Microsoft Teams. So let's do this. I'm going to pick on the DoD project. And here I got several projects under here. And what I want to do is say for this particular project, for all these team members, we want to do a group calendar so we know who's in the office, who's going to be available for which days, and it goes into project planning or if we have to move things around. So in order to get started, what we do is hit the plus sign here, bring in our Microsoft list. And these are pretty straightforward. And this is only available because of a new feature, a recent feature, I'll say probably about 6 weeks ago as of April 2021, that allow you to create a calendar view. So here, once I'm in the Microsoft list, I would just create a standard list. And then I would just do a blank list. I want more control. I don't want more side columns than what's needed. So let's just do a group calendar for our team, or let's just call it team calendar. And then we can pick a color and then probably pick the calendar icon and then go ahead and click create. So once we have that, we have this calendar. This is a standard list. We get our default title. So we're going to leverage that. So the first thing we want to do is add in 2 date time columns. You just call it the begin date and then click save. And you can see I'm accepting the default values here. And then I'm going to do the end date. So date time here, do end date, and then click save. Okay, and really that's basically it. So now to kind of get this into the calendar view, what I can do, I can go into the drop down here where it lists all my views to say create new, and then it's going to ask the name of the view. Let's just call this calendar, or here I can call it team calendar, whatever. And then select the calendar layout for this view. And then you have 3 options for calendars, right? Because just imagine you're going to have the calendar with all the different cells to represent the different days. And what it's asking for is, okay, once I build this calendar view out, how do I know which one of your site columns represent the start date of the calendar? And that's going to be the begin. And which one of your site columns represent the end date of the calendar? And we hit end here. And then which one of your site columns represent the entry or the title or the label that I put in when there are new entries there. And then we're going to use create title for that. All right. So once we do that, we just go ahead and select it. So now this is our standard view. And the way that this works is that I can go to the 18th, click new. Here's one of the caveats that I do not like about this so far is that though I create the 18th, it did not automatically select the 18th for my begin date. So here I have to explicitly select the 18th. And then just say, okay, from Sunday, actually, let's make this more realistic. From Monday through Thursday, I'm going to be out of the office, right? And I could just do triple O for out of the office, right? And then hit save. Now, sometimes we don't want, and just simply as that, I have an entry and it blocks out. There's a nice indicator that says this is the range of dates that Deshaun's going to be out. Now, there's a few enhancements we can add to this. One, let's add in the category, right? So let's just, because, others may relate to out of the office in many different synonyms, right? So we probably want to lock them down to a handful of finite options. So to do that, let's just go and switch our calendar view back to all items, which is a standard list view. And then I go to add column and then choice, and this is going to give me some categories. So just name this categories or category, singular. And then for my choice options, let's just do, let's say vacation is a common one. Personal day, maybe it's another one. Training is probably one. and let's just say seminar, which is similar to training, or whatever it common scenarios are out of the office, or whatever the case may be for your particular team. This is where you customize it. So I think vacation, personal day are probably some of the common ones. Everything else personalized for your particular team, your particular scenario. So now I have that. I can go ahead and edit this as any other list item. And let's just say this is going to be vacation. And we save that. So I automatically say once I go back to the list, switch this over to calendar. Now notice what happens. I have my vacation in there, but it's not showing up. Remember, this only is showing up the title. And if I go in here, I can edit this view. And here's the other thing that I want to highlight. I'm doing all of this within the context or within the frame of Microsoft Teams. This is nothing more than a SharePoint list that lives on SharePoint. And sometimes you can see that my options here are very limited, especially if you're used to creating lists and libraries on the SharePoint side. So for advanced features, I have to pop open this exact same list in SharePoint, look at it in the SharePoint view, and now I have other things like go to list settings to where I can add in more functionality and capability. So let me go back. So I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself. So on my calendar view, if I go to team calendar, you will notice that this still just says Deshaun 000 and does not take into account any of my categories that I just set. Now I can go into this view and I can edit this view, and it takes me back to that setting to where I specify which site columns to use for the different features when it comes to a calendar layout. And if I hit this drop down, I don't have a feature that says category. It's like I have to select one or the other. I can't do both, and I kind of need both, right? So in order to achieve that, what you can do is use the calculated field feature within the SharePoint list. Now with the calculated field, you have to go into the list settings. Again, this is why I went to the SharePoint side of the house, because it opens it up to advanced settings that I'm used to when customizing SharePoint lists. I can create a new column, and what we want to call this, let's just call this the title category field. And this is going to be a calculated field type. And basically, now what I need to do is concatenate my title in the selected category and then use that as the representation within my calendar entry. Now, in order to do this, let's just say I need to add a formula. I thought this was going to show me, I thought this had a link to where I can see all the available formulas to me. But let's do, no, I'm going the long way. Let's see if I can do this really quickly. So SharePoint list, column formulas. I need a reference because there's so many formulas. I need a reference of all the available formulas to me. So I have formula, calculate field formulas. Let's try this one, even though it's SharePoint 2010. And what I'm looking for is to concatenate formula. So here I got a few. This is where I concatenate combine two strings of columns. This is exactly what I want, and I probably want like a space between them. So this is the formula I want to use, right? So the format of the formula is going to be equal sign, and then my column names. So my column names, my first column name, I want to bring in title. So I just double click this from the list. And then the second column name, oh, this is not putting them in order. Hold on. So I'm going to do the title, ampersand, and then let's just do a space, open parenthesis, because I want to put the category in parenthesis. So it's going to be category, and then ampersand, close parenthesis, and then double quotes. Right, and I think I need an ampersand here. So basically, if you look at this, and let's see if we can stretch this out, this is the formula. So the formula is the site column here. You have to use a special token because it's dynamic, right? We're not hard coding it. And then I have to use double quotes anytime that I'm using a literal or a string. So here I just wrap my open parenthesis in double quotes, and then my close parenthesis in double quotes, and then to concatenate them, I need this ampersand character that kind of strings them all together. Okay, so hopefully I got this right. So if I hit OK, this should work. And if I test this out in calendar view, you can notice that this has on, it has the vacation in parentheses here. So let's do one more test. And let's just call this one Madison. And she's going to be out of the office. She's going to be at a seminar July 7th or June 7th through June 11th. She's going to be away at a seminar. And then we save this all. And then here I just double check there's my concatenation. Now if I go into my calendar view, you will notice that this is still my old setting. So I want to update this. So now instead of the title of the item on the calendar, instead of using title, I want to use my calculated field, which is title category, which is going to be my concatenation, and that should work as expected. I might have to give it a refresh here for that to take into effect. So there we go. Deshaun out of the office. There's my category. And now if we scroll over to June to where Madison's out, we can take a look at that. So there's Madison seminar. Nice and neat. I get the category. I get who's doing what. And then I have the date time for in. So now if I go back to Teams, and let's just give this a refresh, I should now be able to see those changes. And you probably want to make calendar the default as well. So let's just switch over to calendar, make sure our changes are there. That looks good. Skip forward to June, double check Madison's format. That looks good. Okay, so last thing we want to do is make this the default, right? So with team calendar selected, set current view as default. And now if I click away off this tab, and if I go to the team calendar tab, hopefully, yep, there's my default. I can see who's in the out of the office, why they're out of the office. That's the category. And now we can use this in many different scenarios. So that, in short, is how you can set up a team calendar within Microsoft Teams. So that way everyone knows who's available, who's not available, and you're ready to rock and roll. Okay, hopefully this was helpful. Any questions, leave it in the comments section. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.